Hey, folks, welcome back to the Asset Champion podcast. It's me, your host, Mike P. Always excited to introduce you to another great FM story. In fact, today's guest is someone I met just recently, but we have so much in common and we have so much to talk about. So let's welcome him right away. He is joining us from beautiful Lancaster, Pennsylvania, and he is the Assistant Vice President for Facilities Management at the Ephrata National Bank. I hope I got that right. Everybody, please welcome Bryan Glatfelter. Bryan, welcome to the show.
Hey, thanks for having me today, Mike. Appreciate it. We're from Ephrata National Bank. We're a local community bank located here in Lancaster County.
I'm working on it, man. The accent, the Pennsylvania colloquialisms. For a long time, I used to come visit the IFMA chapter up in Lancaster, and I called it the first time Lancaster and was immediately corrected. So
I'm sure
Ephrata
you were.
Is another word I'm going to add to my vocabulary.
Fantastic.
And listen, I really appreciate you doing this, and it's been great to chat with you in preparing for this conversation. You and I have a lot in common, although one thing we don't have in common, I'm down here in Washington, D.C. You're closer to Philly, so it's the spring into early summer, but we're still thinking football year-round, right? Come on.
That's right. Draft's not too far away, so go Birds up in this area.
Eagles versus the Commanders, a great NFC East rivalry. We will continue. You've had our number for a number of years, that's for sure. So congrats to you. I have a lot of family in South Jersey. Shout out to all my friends and family in that area. In fact, I was born, I don't know if you know this, Bryan, I was born in Mount Holly outside of Philadelphia on the Jersey side. So go to Ocean City every summer for my beach trip, my trip to the Jersey Shore with the family. Is that where you're going? Where are you going in the summer?
This year, probably down to the other, down to Delaware or in Maryland beaches.
Okay.
We head down that way to the Ocean City, Maryland. So
there you go.
Down the road a little bit, but most certainly have been to the Jersey Shore quite often.
The tale of two ocean cities. When I moved to the D.C. area, everybody assumed I was talking about Maryland, but I said, no, I'm from New Jersey. So good. Hey, listen, can't wait to learn some of your journey in the world of FM and the built environment and caring for a institution like a bank, with multiple locations across a broad region and how you ended up where you are today. But before we go there, Bryan, I always like to get to know the personality of my guests, and I know we have something in common, and it's music. In fact, when I told you we'd be doing this live on YouTube, I said we should call this the Live Without a Net, like Van Halen tour back in the 80s.
Absolutely.
So you can relate to that, right?
Absolutely. I called that out right away. So,
well, what's on your playlist? What's your favorite artist or song or type of music that gets you inspired?
I'm a rock and roll guy, mid 80s, early 90s, a little bit of punk rock, Social Distortion by far, probably my favorite band.
Oh, nice.
Big fan
of
those guys.
Remake of Ring of Fire, Johnny Cash?
Yeah, absolutely.
Like a punky version?
A punk version, absolutely.
Awesome.
Ring of Fire and Story of My Life. It's another great song.
Story of My Life, yeah.
Yeah, coming out with a new album here, I believe any day now. So
wow, still at it in 2026. You got to love it.
Yeah, absolutely. But big fan of Van Halen as well. 80s rock and roll. Just recently saw Def Leppard at their residency in Vegas, so that was fun.
Oh, right. Cool. I saw a YouTube video of them. They sound great. Joe Elliott's, he's in full voice.
They did a great version of Personal Jesus, which was great.
The Depeche Mode song.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, kind of.
Favorite not Van Halen. Let's go favorite Def Leppard tune. Did they play it in concert?
Oh, Rock of Ages, I'm always a big fan. So.
Unter Gleben, Glauten, Globen.
Absolutely.
All right. I got something to say.
That's right.
It's better to burn out than to fade away, Bryan. We all know that.
So they
That's
say.
The podcast motto here on the Asset Champion. No, we're all kidding, folks. It's all about the fun of the music of the 80s, 90s. It's all our wheelhouse here, so it's awesome. Another thing I like to do before we get into the journey in FM is the inspirational side of things. Do you have a favorite quote you could share with my audience?
Yeah. One of my big things is always about getting started. So Mark Twain has a quote, the secret to getting ahead is getting started. So, at one point just like going to the gym, people say it's all about the basics. That first step out the door, first step
Sure.
getting there, getting on the move, just getting to the gym. That's a huge step. So
Absolutely. In fact, it's in anything we do, getting that first step going and getting out of our comfort zone and really becoming vulnerable to whatever that new thing is something I'm absolutely a believer in. It's like once you get the ball rolling, though, it's really where the momentum picks up and you can get going, whether that's going to the gym or getting a new credential. In fact, I want to take a moment and congratulations. You've got your CFM, your FMP from IFMA. I mentioned I had visited your chapter up there, but that was like almost a decade ago, probably more, Bryan. But before you were there, I think we talked about. But your journey into the world of facility management is a great one because you didn't expect to end up where you are today. Tell us the brief version of how you
yeah, absolutely
went
not.
into this profession.
Yeah, I never was a tradesperson in high school or anything like that. Was heading to a 4-year college and decided that wasn't for me and came back and I was an amusement park mechanic over the summer and
Oh, cool.
somebody I was working at an amusement park. They said come in for become a mechanic. I didn't know anything. Quickly found out I had a propensity for it and some mechanical ability. So quickly, I became a state certified safety ride inspector for amusement park rides in the state of
Wow.
Pennsylvania, and went through that for quite a few years, and ended up switching a little bit up and going to a bank, and that was my first kind of foray into a structured environment and a facilities management environment. I never really thought much about it, but I walked in the first day and realized they had on staff back in those days. They had on staff architects, on staff, security folks, and a whole network of people that run the gamut that we know of as facilities management, right?
Sure.
And
Sure.
that was the first time that I got the thought, like, oh wow, well maybe this could, be a career of some sort, and that's where it all started. So I've been
Wow.
in facilities management through banking for quite a few years.
And where does IFMA come into the story?
So that's just it. So when I saw and took a look at all the goings on of something like that, kind of from the trade side, I realized, there's some management stuff there. And I was looking around for something to build on. I got a trades education through Thaddeus Stevens College of Technology. I was looking to build on that in the management side, and that's where IFMA came in, right? They
Mm.
really helped bridge that gap, knowledge gap, whether it was the FMP and now my CFM. It was a huge knowledge gap, networking, and really helped me get me to where I am today. There's no doubt about it.
Awesome. Yeah, they're an amazing community. Uh, love my time with IFMA here, both locally in the Capital chapter as well as the industry events. And do you ever make it to World Workplace? Have you been?
Yeah, yeah. Went for the first time last year in Minnesota. It was
Oh,
awesome. Can't
cool.
wait to go to Anaheim this year. Yeah,
Yes.
it was a great time. So now
Awesome. So
sit
we've
on the.
not met though in person, right? You didn't
No,
see
I don't
me
believe
in
we have.
Minneapolis? Okay.
No, nope. I don't
Yeah, it's
think
a
we caught
big,
up.
big conference. So
Yeah,
5,000 people.
yeah,
Next time though, if you're in
yeah.
Anaheim, we'll run
Yep.
over to Disney World together. I'm
There
sorry,
we go.
Disneyland, right?
Disneyland,
Disneyland in
right? Correct.
Anaheim. Yep.
Yeah, yeah.
I just got back
Absolutely.
from Disney World a couple months ago
Oh,
with the family, and but love them both. All things Disney, all things Star Wars. In
yeah.
fact,
There you go.
May the 4th is coming up, so May the 4th be with you. Uh, the other
Well,
question I want to ask you before we get too deep into the conversation is this show. It's called the Asset Champion Podcast, and I wonder what comes to mind for you here in 2026 when I encourage my audience to be an asset champion. What does it take, Bryan?
One thing I always tell people, I think sometimes some of us get tripped up a little bit is, hey, make sure you're aligning what you do with the company, you're working for, with the organization. I think sometimes we forget that we get in our own cocoon in facilities management sometimes, and we really got to align our decision making with that, right? That's
Sure.
something
Yeah.
big and something I've been really trying to focus on, and I tell people to focus on, and that's ever, that's coming, right? I don't. I think people are looking at us now a little more than maybe they did before on our
Hmm.
side, right? We got metrics now that maybe we didn't have before in other organizations and that type of thing. So,
Yeah, I like that. It's a great
right,
reminder too. You got to tie it together with the
absolutely.
business outcomes we're looking for. We're part of a organization, a team. We're caring for the physical assets, and the people, though, is what it's all about. And we're all there trying to move the needle in the right direction for the organization. And in the banking financial services industry, that's huge. It's incredibly important. And I imagine it has some unique elements to it, right? You've got your multiple locations. You've got, customers coming in. You've got all types of elements that is really important to keep top of mind. What are you most focused on in your role, and what would you share with my audience about maybe being a facilities officer at a financial institution is all about?
So just like you said, we have such a mix of internal and external customers, right? And we're trying to keep them all happy and healthy and productive, and on the retail side, really making sure the customers feel welcome, and we provide an environment for our staff to have conversations and transactions and different things of that nature, making sure everything is good and nice for that. And then on the back end, we have a huge operations side, right? So it's not just retail banking, it's also operations. So we want to have a nice, productive environment, creating a really good environment for those folks to do their jobs well and to enjoy it.
Yeah, tell us a little bit more about Ephrata Bank. Is it
Yeah,
how many locations? How many employees broadly?
Yeah,
Is
so
something you can
we're Ephrata National Bank. We are a local community bank. We just recently had our first acquisition, and we are going to be up to 20 retail locations across Pennsylvania and Maryland.
Wow.
Much of which is in Lancaster County, Pennsylvania. We have a large Amish and Mennonite community here that we are very much involved with. And on the community bank side, we are really high touch, known as a high touch business or a local business around here, and we very much want to stay that way. So.
Well, absolutely. It's such an important part of what you do. And like I said, the human side is something we focus on here on this podcast, and trying to encourage and inspire our audience to really, elevate the value of what they bring, regardless of their individual role. It's part of this more holistic view of caring for the built environment, and you've already alluded to it. What are some of the challenges you're facing, though, as far as that goes, and how would you describe some of the things maybe IFMA helps you prepare for?
In the retail banking world, I think a lot of us, even some of the bigger banks and that type of stuff, we have large footprints, large square footage in the retail space, and trying to shrink that and make it feel less big and cavernous, and when we do designs and workplace, on getting over to the workplace side, but also from the facility side, providing services for people as they sit and maybe wait to talk to somebody and that type of thing, really focusing in on that is always a challenge, and figure out what services help people feel more relaxed and enjoy the space while they're there. Something a little unique from the Ephrata side. I mentioned we have Amish and Plain community. Most of our banks do have a horse shed in them, so
really?
Everybody ties that.
Awesome.
So something a little unique and always challenging, right? So
there you go.
We do have horse and buggies that come through our drive-throughs and different things of that nature. So yeah.
Beautiful part of the country up there. I've actually enjoyed my visits there, and respecting the Amish community, not trying to, interfere with what they're doing. And it's wonderful. I assume kind of the opposite. It's funny we brought up that part of the conversation. We go right to that question about technology, and I wonder, how technology plays a role in the facility management world broadly, but in your world, and trying to use those tools effectively, maybe communicate the value of some technological approaches, strategies. Do you have thoughts on that?
Sure. Trying to, just like anybody else, trying to gather data remotely is always a thing, from building automation systems to anything, monitoring systems, that type of thing is a big deal in technology for us up here. Leak detectors, that type of stuff that is sending out notifications. We're really trying to build on that to stop the emergencies and pick them up earlier is something really where we're applying a lot of technology right now. Of course, applying work order systems and asset systems, monitoring, whether it's monitoring or tracking life cycle cost, total cost of ownership, that type of thing is always a big thing as well. For us up here, they're the main places that we try to apply technology for now anyway.
Yeah, you've been on this journey, Bryan, from the technical side, hands-on, doing the job, then all of a sudden moving towards a managerial role and a more strategic role. It's kind of encompasses what we are always encouraging the audience to look to. I mean, every role is important, but talk a bit more about that journey and encourage my audience when it comes to like the future, in your view, of the facility management, asset management world, the way IFMA kind of helps you and how you feel things are going to go in maybe the next 5 to 10 years. I know you're not a fortune teller. We can't predict the future, but staying on top of your game, upskilling, these are the things we talk about a lot on the show.
Sure. Upskilling, investing in your team is a big deal. Upskilling from making sure they really have the basics and giving them a journey and a pathway to become, better technicians or whatever they would like to be, and whatever, you may help your team the best from the people side. But, from the building side, we try and make scalable decisions, something that wasn't always done, you want to make sure, kind of lean, kind of get into that lean process a little bit on the facility side. We try and do that, make sure, back to monitoring stuff remotely without having to go out and see it and touch it every single time for every little thing. Kind of bring some of those Six Sigma type stuff into your processes. That's something to make sure they're scalable. So when you do grow, it's not, wholesale changes every time you add a building or add a location. Making sure those processes are down is very important in our world here.
Yeah, no, that's really well said, Bryan. It's something that aligns nicely with what I've heard from other guests on the show. It's idea of, we can have all the data in the world. AI certainly is going to play a role, automation, taking all this information and kind of making the most of it. But it's this human side and the ability to be process driven and strategic, and the Six Sigma lean process. Those things are going to be automated and maybe evolving, but the need for someone like you and our audience to, manage those processes, even if they evolve and are different 5 or 10 years from now, is something that's going to be so important. Which leads me to my final question. Do you have any real practical advice, any final thoughts you might share with my audience of asset and facility management leaders as we head into the future of the built environment together?
Two things. Always know your basics is a big thing for me. Be solid in your basics from ground up from construction, right? We always need a good base. And, secondly, leaning into that scalability thing is really big with me. People and process are two big things, and, as a manager, become the liaison between that, right? I referenced before about aligning with the business side and being the liaison to your team, to, upward and down below, right? So, being that person that can explain it on a high level and get down in the weeds if you need to be. But that's my best advice I can give.
I love it. Great stuff. Great advice. Listen, wonderful having you on the show, Bryan. Look forward to meeting you IRL, as the kids say, in real life this fall, hopefully in Anaheim. And by that point, our Commanders and Eagles will be going at it, I'm sure, in the beautiful season of the football season. I think it's late this year, isn't it? Like November or something?
Yeah, it's like the week before Thanksgiving or something. It is pretty late. So we should play at least once by then, right? So
I think so. We'll have something to talk about for sure. And we'll talk about facility management and our IFMA community. But great having you on the show. Thank you so much for taking time to join me here on the Asset Champion podcast.
Hey, thanks, Mike. I really appreciate everybody's time today, your time, and having me on. Can't wait to meet you in person.
Same here. And thank you all for joining us again for another video version of the Asset Champion podcast. And I hope that you found something of value in this conversation. If so, do me a favor and share this podcast with a colleague or a friend, anyone who you think might like to join us as we continue on our journey to encourage and inspire you to be an asset champion. Peace out, everybody.